Hi guys, it's Samantha back, and I'm actually really happy to be filming this because I'm so excited for this look. I have not actually tried this out yet, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we'll see together. So, this look, I decided to do a very, bronzy, natural, kind of glowing summer look, which I thought would be awesome because it's now approaching the middle of June. So, I decided for that, we're going to play with the Morphe 35R palette, which I think is just gorgeous. And these are actually a really good value as well. This was like $22 for 35 colors or something that you have in here. They have all the shimmers, all the mattes over here, and there's a couple satin shadows in here. So I'm really excited to play with this. I have not even swatched it or anything, but when I saw the colors, I was like, yes, I have so many looks that this could go for. I have so many looks in mind that this palette could accomplish. So without that, we're just going to jump right into it. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes, and I'm going to take my concealer and my powder, and this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, which I have used before, and I did like it. I don't know why I didn't repurchase it. And then I'm just going to kind of put that on my finger. Or, not on my finger, what am I doing? Or, yeah, no, on my finger, because we're not doing concealer yet, we're just doing eyes. So, and just put it all over my eyes, and all over my eyes like that. And I gotta say, I think for eye primer, I like this better, even better than the Tarte Shape Tape, because the Tarte Shape Tape is a little bit heavier than this is. And this feels very light, very weightless, which is actually in the title of the concealer, so it's definitely appropriate. And then I'm going to take the Laura Mercier translucent powder and just kind of dust this over my eyes to prime. I mean, I prime my eyes the same way, so there's really nothing too new and exciting here. So, I'm just going to kind of, ow. I guess we're going to poke me in the eye with a brush today, so there's that. And then I'm going to take the Morphe palette, and I am going to go in with this color right here, which looks like it's going to be just a nice base color. So, I'm just going to take that on my brush, and I'm going to use a big fluffy brush for that, and then I'm going to tap off the excess on the table. And then I'm just going to kind of get this all over the lid and in the crease, because I am going to put shadow both on the crease and on the lid, and I want to make sure that my shadows that I put everywhere blend out just nice and smoothly, nice and seamlessly, and that is the purpose of putting a base shadow on, is so that your shadows will blend smoothly, blend seamlessly, and you'll have no harsh lines. So we're just going to kind of go through and blend that out like that. And then I'm going to take this brown color right here and just kind of pop that to warm up the crease a little bit. And I'm going to pop that not too high, not too low, just kind of in that center and blend it out using the tip of my brush. And I'm going to blend it in little circular motions. So, I'm going to do that again. And just kind of apply in windshield wiper motions, and then take the very tip of my brush and blend in circular motions. I don't want to get this too high in the crease or too low. So yeah, that's probably good for that. And then I'm going to take this champagne-y color right here, and it's okay if these colors kind of blend together, that's totally fine. And I'm just going to take that higher up in the crease, like that. And then again, just kind of make sure everything buffs together nicely. And probably should have used a more precise brush to do this. See if this works. Yeah, that's working better. And then I will take this darker champagne-y color right here and take that, tap off the excess on that, and then take that a little bit lower onto the lid. And the same thing for the other eye. Over here. And blend, make sure that's nice and blended. And then I'm going to take this like bronzy coppery color here, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. It's nice and warm, and I'm in love. Absolutely in love. It almost gives me the feeling of like kind of a rose gold sort of color. And then I'm just going to pack that all over the lid. Just pack it on there. Like that. And then you see, like, when I open my eyes, I want it to kind of go from copper to the darker champagne to the light champagne and just kind of fade out. So I'm going to blend everything together. And yeah, that's the kind of blending magic that I would like there. And that's it for the eyes. So next we're going to go to the face. And for the face, I'm actually not going to use a real foundation today. I'm going to use a BB cream. And I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. And I'm going to mix that with some of the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. And what I want from this is I want a more natural look, but I also want it to glow. And that is why I am going to add in the primer, because the primer is going to give it some luminosity, and I am all about that life. Absolutely all about that life. So, I'm going to mix that all up on my Morphe M439 brush, and then I'm just going to dab that on my face. And it is entirely possible that I have way too much product on my face, but oh well, such is life. I'll just wash my hands later. And you see how it's not going to be too heavy of a coverage or too full coverage of a look. So if you want something super full coverage, not that you can't use this, but I would either mix it with some full coverage concealer, like the Younique Touch Concealer that I used yesterday is really good for this because it comes in a squeeze tube, whereas the concealers like the Tarte Shape Tape and the Naked Skin are harder to do this with because they do come in a wand applicator, so it's hard to get them in a concoction, you know what I mean? So, but if you're just looking for a nice, natural, dewy finish, and you just want something that's going to kind of make you glow, this will get the job done. And the nice thing about tinted or BB creams is they're like tinted moisturizers. So if you have dry skin, these are going to be amazing for you because they're going to give you hydration while at the same time giving you color and coverage and kind of evening out your skin tone. And make sure you buff it in really good. Some people apply tinted moisturizer to their hands, which I don't think that's such a good idea, because even though it is a more sheer coverage, it still needs to be blended in, otherwise it's going to still look patchy and streaky, and it's not going to blend as well. So you still want to make sure you blend it in like really well, like you would a foundation. So next, I'm going to go in with concealer, and like I said, I'm using the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay. And I chose this concealer because it's not too heavy, it's kind of light, and I'm going for more light products for this look. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that under my eyes. And I'm actually going to try a different method for blending out my concealer because I actually forgot to bring my beauty blender out. So I'm actually going to try something else. I have this Morphe E8 brush, which looks like a miniature version of my foundation brush. So I am actually going to see if this will work. Because I have been kind of wanting to try this for concealer. And oh yay, it does look like it's working. I actually kind of like this better than my beauty blender. It like really pounces it in. And notice I'm going in pouncing motions because if you swipe, it's going to wipe the product right off your face. And that is a waste of makeup, and if I catch you wasting makeup, it's not going to be pretty. So, there's that. And I think I just found a new way to blend out my concealer. Look how flawless that looks. Look how flawless that looks. And then I'm going to go into the Laura Mercier. I'm going to skip face powder for today because, again, we're going for a natural, dewy, luminous glow, and face powder tends to mattify your skin. So if you are very oily or if you are having problems with, like, shine or oil breaking through your makeup moving, then you could absolutely set it with some kind of setting powder, but I don't really have those issues, and I'm going for a more dewy finish. So I'm just going to set my under eye concealer, which is a step that under no circumstances can you skip. Because if you don't, your concealer will probably be a creasy mess. So I'm just going to paint this just like I did my concealer under there. Again, I usually use my beauty blender for this, but I forgot to bring it out, so we're just going to improvise with this. And I've actually been wanting to see how this does for concealer, because I think that's what I'm going to use this brush for. So, and like I said before, I think I actually like it better, because it really pounces it into my skin, rather than getting these big swiping motions, which maybe I just need a different beauty blender. Maybe the one I have is the wrong size or something like that. But at any rate, Morphe E8, I like this brush. And it was actually pretty cheap too. I think it was less than $10. So tinted moisturizer, concealer, done. Now we're going to go to bronzer. And for this look, I really liked the Younique Beachfront bronzer. This is the middle color in Malibu. And the reason I like this bronzer is it has a matte shade, although I don't think either one of these are really matte. But it has a side that's a little bit lighter and a side that's a little bit darker. I'm going to go with the lighter side today because, again, I want to bronze and glow. And I believe the lighter side is the shimmer side. And I want all kinds of bronzy, shimmer goodness up in my life today. So what I will caution you about any Younique product really is that they tend to be very pigmented, and a little goes a long way, so it's very easy to go heavy-handed with these. And if you do go heavy-handed with them, it can be tough to correct a mistake. So, or it can be tough to kind of mitigate the heavy-handedness and make it not look like too much. One trick I have found is that if you take like a face powder, or if you have any kind of like foundation powder, if you take like a very tiny amount of that, or even just like your blank powder brush that might still have some like residual product on it, dust that over the area where you went too heavy-handed, and it should kind of shear it out and kind of mitigate it a little bit. And that will kind of make it not look like you went too overboard with your bronzer. And these are especially easy to do with bronzers that are more orange in tone, because they can give you that orangey, just like obvious, like fake spray tan look before spray tans got to be really, really good. And so I'm just dusting the bronzer like on my cheekbones and on my forehead, because really the goal is just to warm up your face. I don't contour much at all, but even if I did, I would not use this bronzer to do it, because it's much too shimmery. It's not really the right contour color I would be looking for. If you're looking for something to contour with, I would look for like a contour kit, like the Anastasia one, or even Younique makes one, or it's called the Sculpting Trio. It has a contour shade in there. The Kat Von D, the shade Light palette, that has a contour shade in it. But not every bronzer can be a good contouring contouring bronzer. The Hoola bronzer works pretty well because you're going to want to find a bronzer that is matte, because contouring creates a shadow, and shadows are not shimmery. Shadows tend to be more gray in tone or just not super warm, because when you look at a shadow in anything, it's not going to be a super warm color. It's just going to be gray. So that's what you want a bronzer that's very gray in undertone. So, bronzer done. Next we're going to go with blush. And for blush, I am using the NARS Orgasm blush, and I have no idea why NARS needs to give their blushes such dirty names. I mean, some of the names I saw when I was in Sephora buying this, I was like, what? Okay. But this is a beautiful peachy just wash of color, and it's exactly what I was going for this look. I didn't want anything too bright pink. I didn't want anything peachy. I didn't really want anything with a purple undertone. I just wanted just this beautiful, just pink wash of color that, again, just looks like a blushing, pink, bronze, glowing goddess, which is exactly the look that I am all about today in this video. So we're just going to wash this right over the cheeks. And at this side. And again, if you do go in too heavy-handed with your blush, you can take like a blank powder brush or a very small amount of face powder and just go in and clean it up. Or you can also use translucent powder for that, to like bake your face the way I've seen some people do. That works pretty well as well. So, next for highlight, I am going to go in with the Anastasia Nicole Guerriero palette. And I just remembered I did not prep my lips to make sure I do that, because we're going to get to lips pretty soon. Again, this is the Younique lip exfoliator. You guys know how much I love this. I love that it's in a stick, and I love that it has actually improved the health of my lips. So, we're going to go in with highlight. And unfortunately, one of my shades, may she rest in peace. I know it was a sad day for all. That is the shade Forever Lit, and it's this very, like, white, like, metallic highlight. Like, this, I actually don't know if I had used this yet, because I'm not really much of a super metallic. I'm all about that more, like, natural, subtle glow. But unfortunately, this has kind of been done in. So, I am going to... But I am still going to use this palette. I'm absolutely not going to throw it away, just because, unfortunately, one shade kind of is no longer with me. I'm just kind of wiping off the eyeshadow. So I'm going to go on with this shade, which is called Glow Getter. I don't want to put it like too far pointed down, because I don't want this highlight to spill all over. But I am going to mix Glow Getter and Kitty Cat together, because one is a very pretty gold color, and Kitty Cat is a pink color, and you know how much I love gold and pink. And if you don't know, let me just tell you, if everything in the world could be gold and pink and covered in glitter, I have no more questions. At that point, that is all I need in life. Just gold, pink, and everything covered in glitter. I don't think that's too much to ask. So I'm just going to go on the tops of my cheekbones, and oh yes, this is turning into a very highlighted situation, but a little glow never hurt anyone. And then there's that. This palette's absolutely beautiful. I will say these highlights are not exactly subtle. Like I said, they're going to be a more metallic highlight, which some people love, some people don't love, whereas I wanted some glow to this look, definitely, and because I went subtle with everything else, so I definitely wanted this look to have some glow, so I decided to go with this. And next, I am going to go in, actually, with semi-eyeliner, because I don't actually wear eyeliner all that much. But for this look, I'm actually going to take my eyeliner brush, and I'm going to go back into this palette, and I am going to take this dark brown eyeshadow right here, and I am going to just kind of take that on an eyeliner brush, just super close to the lash line, and take that out. Like that. And then I'm going to take this again over. And then I'm going to take the this is always super awkward for me to do, especially in my camera mirror, and especially with the Morphe palette being so big. Okay. Okay. There, and I just kind of do that just to give my eyes a little bit more dimension, to give like my lash line a little bit more of a pop and a separation from the rest of my eye. I also think I'm going to go in with a little bit of outer V color now that I'm looking at it, because I kind of want something there. Not a ton of something, but a little bit of something. So I'm going to go in with this color right here, which is like a dark chocolatey brown. And I'm going to take that, tap off the excess, and just kind of go in. I didn't hardly get any on my brush. Just go in and just kind of in that triangle area, just kind of tap some on. Again, not a ton, just a little bit to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. Like that's probably, and then just kind of drag it over enough so that it doesn't look choppy or harsh. So again, I'm just going to take this and just kind of pat that there on the outer V, and then drag it in. And I drag it in and like blend it inward when there's almost no product left on the brush. And now that champagne-y color is not as like there as I want it to be, so I'm going to take another little precise brush. I've got one in here somewhere. Yep. Yeah, I got my crease brush in here. So I'm going to take that champagne-y color and just kind of bring it back into the crease, because it's not quite as popping as I had wanted it to. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then I'm just going to, again, just go in with circular motions, because that's looking a little bit harsh right now. But we're just going to go in and blend that out. Blend, blend, blend. Blend that out. Okay, now I think the eyes are done. And now I'm going to go in for my brows. And I'm going to use, again, the Younique Moodstruck Brow Palette. This is pretty much what I use in every video, because I've said 100 times how much I love it and how much I love the packaging and how much I love these powders, and I just think it's a really, really great product. And Younique does make fantastic products. So I'm just going to go through with this lighter powder right here and fill in my brows like that. And then I'm going to take this darker powder and I'm going to fill in just the tail of it. And this will give it more dimension, because eyebrows are made up of hair, and hair is naturally kind of different colors in different places. So you want to put a different color in there to give it that natural like dimension that hair has. And the whole idea, like I said, for this look is we want to look natural, we want to look glowing, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to take that for now, and then I'm going to take a brow pencil. This is the Anastasia Brow Wiz, And I'm going to take this, and then just in the very inner corner, like where it's kind of sparse, but it's not too sparse, I'm just going to kind of very light flicking motions, so I can fill my brows in very light strokes, and without, very light strokes instead of like one huge line, because that's going to look really fake and not natural at all. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to take the spoolie end and just kind of blend all of this together. And this will kind of blend the pencil with the different colors of powder, so it looks a lot less choppy. And again, we have no harsh lines. So, there's that. And then, I am going to go on to my lips. And I am going to use the NARS Orgasm lip gloss. And I guess it's just an orgasm kind of day. I really liked that peachy pink with gold shimmer kind of look, because you know me, I'm all about anything with gold glitter, and I mean, just don't hate on the glitter. You just can't. So I'm going to take this and just put it all over my lips. And same thing up here. And what I really found that I like about this gloss is it gives enough pigment to give your lips some color without having to use lipstick. Because for some reason, whenever I think of a really natural look, I don't think of adding lipstick to it unless it's like a really light sheer shade. I would much rather have the wet, glossy, shiny look of a gloss. But I think when you layer lipstick and lip gloss onto each other, unless again it's a really sheer shade, they tend to not look as natural. And I was going, like I said, for a very natural, kind of glowy, bronzy, beachy look. And I thought that gloss was just right on the money. There is also an Orgasm, like, multi-stick, which I saw, which it actually looks really cool. It's supposed to be something you could use, like, as cream blush. You could maybe even use it as cream eyeshadow, or you could maybe even put it, like, on a lip brush and use it as lip gloss. So I actually might want to look into that, because that looked like it was really cool. So next, for finishing spray, I am going to take the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea setting spray, and this smells like oranges. I don't know how it does for lasting power, but I will say it does make my makeup look a little bit more dewy, and it smells really good. And it feels like very refreshing. And Tarte is vegan, they're all natural, so if you're looking for something organic, Tarte is always a good brand. And also, I know I didn't do mascara, because I always do mascara after setting spray, because whenever I do it before, it always gets, like, transfers onto my upper lashes, and I don't want that. So I'm going to do this first, let it dry, and then we're going to go in with my mascara. So I'm going to take the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea and just kind of spritz that everywhere. And then I'm just going to fan it and let it dry, like that. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I want to talk about one more thing before I do my mascara. And if you know me at all in person, you know how obsessed I am with scents. I love when things smell good. I love when my house smells good. Just ask my Scentsy consultant, Heather. She will tell you how obsessed I am, because I love when things smell good. I love when guys smell good. I love when just anything smells good. There's this guy I work with that, oh my God, whatever cologne he wears, it smells amazing. And every time I pass him, I'm like, oh my God, that smells so good. And he told me what he wears, and I always forget it, but oh my God, it smells so good. And I'm just always drawn to really, really nice scents. So I thought I would start talking about perfume in my blogs. So this is Bobbi Brown Beach. And I like this look because I like to kind of coordinate my scents with my looks. And since I was going for like a bronzy, glowing goddess kind of look, it's like, why not do a beachy scent? And this smells very, it smells florally, it smells clean, and it smells kind of warm, but not over the top warm at the same time. I had probably been smelling this in Sephora for like a year before I bought it, which I know was sinful. I should have just bought it sooner, because everything Bobbi Brown puts her name on is quality. So I'm just going to kind of draw this on and, put it on like you would perfume. I mean, there's nothing fancy going on here. But it just, oh my gosh, it smells so good. If you are looking for like a clean floral summer scent that doesn't smell over the top rosy or kind of like an old lady-ish scent, this is a really, really good one. It's called Bobbi Brown Beach, and I like rollerballs just because I have so much perfume, and this way I can kind of have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because I don't want the perfume to go bad before I can use it all, because it's like, I paid for that. I don't want to, you know, have to pay for it and have to throw it away. And also the rollerballs are a lot cheaper, I think, but that one was maybe $25, which I can spend $25 on perfume. I have a little bit more trouble spending $80 to $100. I'm like, do you know how much makeup I could buy for that? So, for mascara, now that my setting spray is dry, I'm going to go in with Benefit Roller Lash. And I like this mascara because it's a curling mascara. And it's not going to do too much for volume, I'm not going to lie. But it will do something for curl and length. And I tend to like a lot of the mascaras Benefit comes out with. I really, really, really love the Benefit They're Real. That's a really good one. And I know they have this in brown as well. So if you're really fair-skinned, or if you're a natural redhead and you have, or like a natural really light blonde and you have really light lashes naturally and you want to go for something more natural, they do have this in brown as well. So this might be tough to do on my lower lashes with the curl, but I'm going to try it anyway. It's working! Yay, it's working! It's actually harder than easier than some of my normal lower lash mascaras. And on the lower lashes, I don't do anything crazy. I just kind of make sure I touch them all just to get them to be black again. Because sometimes, like when I'm going in with concealer and foundation around my under eye area, it can make my lower lashes like peach or whatever color my foundation was. So that is this completed look. I'm actually really happy with the way that it came out. So I hope that you got inspired if you try to recreate it. If you try anything that gets inspiration from this, I would absolutely love to see your pictures and your recreations, because makeup's just supposed to be fun. And that's what we're doing here. We're just having fun. So with that, I will see you in my next video, and I hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday. It is a beautiful sunny day out here in Buffalo, so I am going to go outside and enjoy it. Bye-bye.